arc length and area of a sector. Two formulas we are going to use. So previously, I'll use a circle as an example, we have found the arc degrees. So this might be like 30 degrees to go with the central angle, right? But now we're going to find the actual distance. If you could measure that, how far is that? So arc length. It's the length of an arc measured linearly. Okay, so not degreely, but I don't think that's a word, but linearly. So if you were to take a piece of yarn and go from here to here on the arc and then stretch it out on a ruler, how long would that piece of the arc be? Okay, think about it, if you will, as we're measuring how long the crust of the pizza or pie is. And we do that by, I meant to say, it's part of the circumference, right? So we're measuring, we basically have to figure out the circumference and then use our degrees to figure out which part of the circumference it is, okay? So this 360 is always 360. This is always the formula for the circumference of a circle. And that A is your degrees. Okay, so write this in your notes. And then push play. Pause, write it down, then push play again, and we'll do some examples. So we want to figure out the length of this arc. Okay, sometimes they might give you this one, or like you have to do some subtracting from 360 and stuff first, but for the most part, you're going to get what you need. Okay, I'm going to fix my colors here. So remember, we're going to do A. I don't know why we do A instead of, like, I don't know, X or something. Oops, times 2 pi r. Okay, so we're going to put the 45 in for A. A is always our degrees. So 45 over 360. Think about this fraction is always all of the degrees together in the fraction. Okay, times 2 times pi times r, which in this case is 4. Now technically you can put that in the calculator just like that. Use your parentheses. Okay, so in your calculator you would type parentheses 45 divided by 360, parentheses 2, use that pi button, okay, which this might actually be the first time we're talking about the pi button. So it is, you push the second button and then the caret, which is the little arrow thing right above the division sign. And you'll notice right above that there's a little blue pi. If you hit that, you get the actual pi symbol in your calculator, if you're using a school calculator. If you are using your phone or something, I'm not sure what you would get. And then a 4. So again, in our calculator, we've got parentheses 45 divided by 360, parentheses 2 pi 4. Hit enter, and we get 3.14. So the length of the arc is 3.14 inches, and that's your answer. So again, we're going to do 120, because that's the degree of the arc that we're talking about, over 360, oops, parentheses, 2 pi, and in this case, 14. So parentheses, 120 divided by 360, parentheses, 2 pi 14. And if you're in class, I can show you where that pi is if you're still losing it. You've still lost it. 29.3, still inches. That's our answer. Good job. Okay? Now, these are the exact same thing. We just have bigger degrees to put in. I'm not going to do these with you. We're going to move on to sector. So a sector is the region that, so you've got radii, 2 radii. So radius, radius. This is your center. Okay, it's not some random part. It's always to the center. Okay, it is the whole piece of the pie or pizza. That is what a sector is. Okay, so to find the sector area, I don't know why that says segment area, sector area, We're going to use the same concept, except now we're talking area. So we're going to still use that degree fraction, the part of the circle, but we're trying to find the part of the area. So we're going to use the area formula. So again, A over 360 times pi r squared. So our degree is our A. So 270, remember this, I call it the degree fraction, okay? Because everything in there is a degree, times, and if you use the parentheses, you don't need your little times thing, pi r, which in this case is 11, squared. Again, put it in your calculator, using your parentheses and all that good stuff. Parentheses, 270 divided by 360, parentheses, pi, same pi button, 11 squared. Now, you could use the 3.14, okay, but your answer is not going to be as exact. If you use 3.14 instead of the pi button, you're going to be a little bit off here. You might even have 284.9, okay, which on a quiz, I'm not going to take you, knock you off for a degree or two, but if you were actually trying to figure out this in real life, for some reason, you would want to be as exact as possible. So you would want to use actual pi. If you don't have a pi button because you're using your phone or whatever, you can always use the fraction 22 over 7, and that will be more exact than 3.14. Okay? Notice that I put miles and squared. Anytime we're talking about the area of anything, it's units squared. And yes, I will expect to see your units with a squared. If all you have is 285.1, I'm going to take off because you need to have your units and show me that they're squared. Okay? When we get to volume and surface area and stuff, I talk a little bit more about why that is important to us. Okay? So let's do one of these. So we just did a big one. Let's do a little one. So our degree is 60. So that's what goes over 360. Our radius is 14. I just wrote that backwards, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. As long as it's all right there. Doesn't matter. Oops. You can tell I'm doing this at school. Sorry. So we put all that in your calculator. Again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which order you put it in, as long as you put your parentheses around your fraction. Okay. So we've got 102.6 meters squared, and that's our answer. And that, my friends, is how you find the sector area and the arc length. Let me know if you have questions.